Big day for the Cleveland Brown defense. What else is new? Here we are, game 10, and we have said that almost every single week. This time, Cleveland's defense lifts the Browns past the Pittsburgh Steelers in a 13-10 showdown here in Cleveland. Brendan Gulick, Anthony Moeglin with you, part of our coverage on Browns Digest, the Fan Nation Network channel on Sports Illustrated's platform. And look, Anthony, it's a team that's going to have to find some ways to keep winning like this because they're not going to be an offensive juggernaut without several of their best weapons and best protectors. And the good news is you can win games in lots of different ways, and you shouldn't feel shame for the way the defense goes out and dominates most of the teams that they've played against this year. Today, the Pittsburgh Steelers, for the first time all season in their 10th game, finally had more yards of total offense than their opponent did, but they lost. 74 of their 249 yards came on one long touchdown run, the only offensive score they had all game. Pittsburgh couldn't throw the ball consistently. Even literally from the first play from scrimmage, it was a pretty impressive showdown.
It was insane, and you take that 74-yarder away, and the Browns hold the Steelers to they have 98 yards on 25 carries on the ground, and then give up 77 yards in the pass game. It was this is a special group, and it's amazing. For a couple reasons. The first is that you rarely see a professional team like this, especially in the NFL, really seem like they genuinely love each other. It honestly seems that way. And it's I know that's kind of whatever. It's a little lovey-dovey or weird to say, but it's true. These guys play for each other. And then when you have that sense of, togetherness, then everything's connected, man. The secondary's connected to the linebackers who are connected to the defensive line, and they just all play as one unit. And that's rare to see in the NFL. And when you do see it, because all of these dudes are elite athletes, and when you do see it, it's special. And this defense, man, I don't know what you do when you're on the other side. You need a couple lucky plays, a broken play here, which the Steelers got, but it's hard to attack this group.
You're right. That's definitely more a thing that you see at the college level where there's that different kind of brotherly bond. But this Cleveland Browns team seems to have tapped into that. These guys definitely actually do seem to genuinely like each other. And winning helps, but so does the change at coordinator when Jim Schwartz came in and flipped this thing on its head and took many of the same players and certainly some critical additions and turned this defense into an absolute powerhouse. Some final numbers today. The Cleveland Browns obviously almost came up with a safety on the very first offensive snap that Pittsburgh took. Frankly, they almost had a safety on the second play too. Ultimately, though, neither of those ended up in points. Pittsburgh punted it 9 times. The Browns forced 9 punts from their bitter rivals and gave up just 2 scoring drives all game. Pittsburgh was limited to only 12 first downs in the game. They were 3 for 14 on third downs. And quite frankly, Kenny Pickett looked lost an awful lot throughout the game. He did not look like a very good NFL quarterback today. And maybe there are Steeler fans that are saying, hey, we know we've seen that throughout the course of the year. I get it. But you still want your guys to go out and play well in a rivalry game. And, Pittsburgh has had Cleveland's number a lot over the years. And so regardless of how the season's gone, when you go play against a team that you're used to playing well against, sometimes that's the mental edge you need. And Kenny Pickett just didn't have it today.
I'll bite my tongue on my Kenny Pickett thoughts. We'll keep this more Brown specific because I think that the group on the back end of Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, and Martin Emerson those dudes are spectacular. There's not many open guys running around the field, and all you got to do, really, that's the best part about it, man. And I just said it a moment ago, how everything's connected. All those guys have to do is cover for 2.5 seconds, because guess what? If you take his first read away, whether it's Kenny Pickett or Tom Brady, you take the first read away, Myles Garrett or Zadarius Smith is at the quarterback. It's just amazing how this group is just, hey, you do your job on the back end, you're going to pay for it. They're going to get paid on the front end. Or, hey, they get paid on the front end and there's a tipped ball and a pick six, going the other way. It's just the synergy between these groups is insane. And there's one clip or one play that sticks out in my mind. The Steelers are in the red area. They're on the high red zone, and they drop back. They have this play action pass where they have crossers. It's a normal route where the guy on the right side crosses the guy on the left side, and they do this cross thing. Well, the Browns traded off, and they cut Deontay Johnson loose. You'll see it. You'll see it. He's wide open. There isn't a guy within 15 yards, and it would have been a touchdown, but it didn't matter because they took his first read away, and Myles Garrett's home, sacks the quarterback, puts him outside of field goal range, and totally derails a drive. This group works so well together, and they're so awesome to watch.
It's a ton of fun. I think Browns fans are going to sit at home tonight and think to themselves, maybe it didn't look pretty, but we just beat Mike Tomlin and the Steelers with a 5th-round rookie quarterback. Okay, that'll work. Cleveland 13, Pittsburgh 10, thanks in large part to another incredible defensive performance from the Browns, who are going to be back to work this week before they head to Denver on Sunday to take on a Broncos team that is playing better football, but also is not a team that you would consider to be a world beater. Maybe this is the kind of run the Browns can get on here in the middle of the season and really make a serious push. They are clearly right now barging toward the playoffs. Obviously, nothing's locked in stone at this point, but 7-3, and they are unquestionably one of the best teams in the AFC, and certainly have divisional championship aspirations still within their reach. For all the latest news and info on the Cleveland Browns, we've got you covered, BrownsDigest.com, and right here on this YouTube channel.